Nigel Williams from Wales is the referee, and make no mistake, it's a big day for these guys out here in the England jersey, and perhaps especially Steve Smith for Andy Gummersall.
Yes, he was the in-fall scrum half before they came away. He had a wonderful game against Wales, and it's a big day for him, Nigel.
It's his partner, Paul Grayson, who sets it underway. And Grace immediately in possession via Abbott. Flipped out wide with Dan Luger. Luger, the man who was sort of embroiled in that controversy about England with 16 players. All a bit of a storm in a teacup. Now through the midfield again. Now to Lawrence Dallaglio on the 22. Uruguay will have to react fast to this. It's good play with Mike Catt. Mike Catt covering hard was Sebastian Aguirre, the fly half, but driving on is Danny Grucock.
Taking him out.
And the player taking him out was Phil Vickery. Well, Grucock wanting to make his mark early.
And that was a pity. There's an overlap on the right, it was a walk-in. Unfortunately, Vickery took a man out. Good start by England, though.
There's Danny Grucock. Well, a frustrating time he's had waiting for that broken toe to recover that he got right at the start of England's World Cup sojourn out here. Some talent, don't underestimate Uruguay. They've got some big men up front, as we've heard already. People like Lemoyne, Lamelas, chunky hooker this, and they'll contest as if their lives depended on it. So it's Diego Lamelas now. A tidy ball. Grucock fells one man who's hurt his back, it looks like, already in Uruguayan colours. Sebastian Aguirre under a lot of pressure. Very quickly up was Joe Worsley. That's not going to go anywhere near touch or like it. Just outside the Uruguay 22. This is Gummersall then. Not the best first feed. That's a better feed now. Catt. Big feed by Lucy Luger. Luger still has Dallaglio close on hand. Gummersall, Grayson, Catt. Big drive up the middle by Corrie this time, 10 metres out. Beginning to overwhelm Uruguay in these early moments, the sheer power and pace. This is a good play, and the first score is for Lewis Moody out on the right flank. Well, that was beautifully executed, that was classy.
Yes, I was talking before, Nigel, about England getting their rhythm back. They certainly have their terrific rugby, moving it both ways. In the end, Uruguay is running out of players. It's the end of the move here. It was very, very fluent. Lucy's on the end, he capitalises, but it was a good team try.
Well, some excellent, uncomplicated, swift, well-timed passing, and the reward, his 6th try for England, Lewis Moody. And of course, well, we'll just watch this Grayson conversion attempt now. Paul Grayson, his first start. As effective, of course, in the Northampton jersey as he has been for England. I was just thinking, of course, Moody is a key player. Perhaps if there are still doubts over Richard Hill.
Absolutely. Back row slots up for grabs, but the word you used before, Nigel, uncomplicated, that was the key to me. It was simple rugby, won the ball, moved it both ways. That's the sort of rhythm that England need to get back into if they're really, really going to go the whole way in this tournament.
Please don't go in front of the line, okay? Please stay back.
Joe Worsley waits. Now it's Sebastian Aguirre. Made his debut internationally in the '99 World Cup alongside his brother. And he's taken the fly half spot now, but here England possession again, and possession is going to be a major problem for Uruguay, I sense now. Grucock sets it up. Big Danny, whose participation in the World Cup was in doubt, of course, right to the last. Stuart Abbott, the youngster, he's partnering the old hand Mike Catt alongside him now with Worsley. Good recovery, nice feed from Gummersall. And here's the midfield man, Danny Grucock. And he's not gone to release it quickly enough. It's in front of the post, it could be 3 points. Simple 3 points here for Uruguay. Well, you wonder whether it's the best place to have the second row charging up the middle is in front of his own goalposts, and there's a nasty gash on the face of one of the Uruguayan players. In fact, De Freitas there. Well, they've already lost Mendaro, their #1 centre. Clash of heads, I guess.
Yes, and that was Brucock driving in, holding onto the ball, right in front of the referee. Silly penalty. But England need to do this. They need to move the ball away from their own line. They're going to run it from everywhere, so these mistakes are going to happen. There's a bit of blood on Brucock's shirt, obviously from the clash of heads.
Well, with De Freitas injured and getting a blood bin treatment, at least it's a moment of huge relief for Diego Reis, who's come on, the 23-year-old wearing number 22, because it will be his first appearance in this World Cup, and this of course represented his last chance. So good news for him, someone else's bad luck at the same time, and De Freitas off for the time being. But here meanwhile is Juan Menchaca from the principal club Carrasco Polo in Montevideo. Well, they won't go home pointless. There's the first three for Uruguay, and a cause of celebration for their supporters.
Yes, they'll be delighted. I think we're still celebrating the win over Georgia. And like you say, Nigel, they won't go home with nil on the board against England.
Just 5 days ago that they beat Georgia, and that was, well, a great cause for celebration. It was their World Cup final, you might call it. Luga challenges, taken by the new boy, Reis. Diego Reis. Fed out by Alvarez. Tricky play, Campamar in trouble. And rest assured, England with a few points to prove tonight, or it's even still afternoon here. Early evening, we might say. There's Dorian West, fourth oldest player in the Rugby World Cup. That's one of the younger ones, Joe Worsley. Knock on, advantage Uruguay, little error, Martin Corrie knock on. There's a man who's celebrating just last Tuesday the birth of a daughter. So proud dad. Eve Alexandra was welcomed into the world.
There's babies all over the place in the England team, isn't there?
Yeah, with Jason, of course. Jason's an old hand at that. He's got 3 now. Lawrence Dallaglio there, looking extra determined. Lamelas. Clean ball for Uruguay. Capo, Ortega, number 8. Quite effective in the tight, and they like the battle, they like the physical contest with the opposition pack, but they've piled down on top of it, and Bardo, I think, penalised at the bottom of the heap.
Yes, it was Bardo, Nigel. They fancied themselves, you know, up front. Did a few rolling mauls against Georgia. Big lads. However, against England there, they didn't budge an inch, did they?
Well, 2 of the biggest props in the game are in this lineup for Uruguay. 130 kilograms one and 128 the other. That's somewhere around about 20 stone a head. It seems pretty big in my book. That's Brucock, not cleanly, but tied it up by Worsley. Uruguay's 22. Still there. Just comes loose though, flicked somehow out of Dorian West's hands. And Uruguay did well, slipping it away. Taken on by Brignoni. But they lost the discipline, they piled straight down on top of it.
No attempt, straight down.
Just going back to what England must achieve today. Just saw there a little bit of rustiness again. Perfect rolling maul. And right at the end, Dorian West has the ball stripped out of his hands. Those are the kind of silly little mistakes, Nigel, they've got to eliminate. Doesn't matter in this game, but it certainly will in the next couple of weeks.
To touch from Paul Grayson, vice captain on this tour, And in this match today, understudying Phil Vickery. England then have the throw-in from their penalty at Screwcock. Swiftly to Gummersall to Grayson. Dummy is in the middle. Cat sets to Luger, but it's broken down. Well, the finishing was sadly lacking then. You wonder about the necessity of courting moves. They looked so effective when it was straightforward. That was Gummersall's run. And via Corey, it's... well, little errors.
Yes, and when there's lots of them, they add up to big ones. It's a set ploy. Just misunderstanding all the way through, isn't there, at the moment?
Well, that was all the trio that make up the back row.
Engage.
So not much in it in terms of pack weights. Campamar, just 21, the scrum half. Sebastian Aguirre, younger brother of the captain. It's as though De Freitas is back from the blood bin. Back in the centre, he's no number on this time. Halfway line then. West to throw. Vicker has gone right to the back to lift Danny Grewcock like that. Corrie's the link to Delalio now from Gummersall.
Accidental
What happened?
offside, streamed to his own player.
Offside.
Scrum.
Free Nigel Williams.
Accidental.
Clear cut in his decision making. Accidental offside. Don't need that.
No. Engage. Up we get, guys, please. Gentlemen, break up. Let's reset. Crouch and hold. Engage. Back off the scrum.
Off the scrum. England penalised. Capo Ortega takes it on. Not sure whether he was penalising Gummersall then or one of the England flankers breaking off. I think it might have been the scrum half. There's advantage here to Uruguay. Tackler must roll away. That's Delalio who's penalised there.
Uruguay just growing in confidence.
Number 9 coming around.
They realise they can penetrate the England team if they run at them. Certainly did do then, going for posts.
Well, they can change it now, Whitey.
So this is the incident, which allows Juan Menchaca a chance to get within a point of the England total. 7-3 after coming up to 12 minutes. Menchaca was, well, not long ago the hero of Uruguay because he was the man who kicked 4 drop goals against Chile in a vital qualifying match. Chile and Uruguay had a tremendous tussle home and away, and one or t'other was going to qualify, and it was Uruguay just got the better on points difference. Here's Menchaca then. 7-6 if he gets it. He struck it well enough. Just wide of the right-hand post. Not far off either. Well, we don't know what not far off means, having watched that almost winning drop goal by Humphreys last night. Did we ever see how close it went, Steve?
No, I didn't realise the camera crew wouldn't let us see it again, would they?
That was Cat to Worsley. Almost looked forward, actually. There's Gummersall behind Grayson. Went backwards, play on, says the referee. Abbott slips the tackle of Alvarez.
Wait!
Now what?
Out.
Oh, an injury here. And obviously the referee's concerned. He stopped play immediately there. Well, very astute of Nigel Williams to observe that Clearly there was some concern over this. Let's have a look. Oh, big head clash, wasn't it? Pastore. He's gone down. Comes up just here.
Yes, those hurt, don't they?
No, it's okay.
Well spotted by referee. Mr. Williams stopped it straight away. Realised somebody could have been unconscious. Don't think he is, though. I think he's all right.
Well, Joaquin Pastore played all 3 tries so far. This 21-year-old student of economics in Montevideo.
Okay. It's a
And
scrum
big
England ball, though we
head
have
clash
serious
with Josh
injuries.
Lucy.
Yeah, England ball.
Well, all credit to the referee. He's got his priorities right. Knew if there's a risk of bad injury, to stop it is the best option. Glad to say the youngster's fine. Might have a headache.
Engage.
Andy Gumbersall then, big day for him. His first start, played replacement in the first game against Georgia. Sets up this move, Lucy in the line, Gumbersall's there. Balshaw into the 22. Now, swift, clinical execution, perhaps. Luger's out wide here. Abbott infield. Front of the post, Gumbersall right this time. Grayson, long feed, Grucock again, the midfield runner. Well, he knows what his job is. Bullock down the field, mate, get it back. Grayson. You're offside, Lucy.
Yes, the referee was calling to Josh Lucy, but he'd already given a penalty to Uruguay for offside in midfield. I can't see England going for goal here.
Grayson has the ball, and they'll go for the little tap into the corner and the line out close to the Uruguayan line. Well, Parsons' egg so far, good in parts. Coming up to 15 minutes, 7-3. Well, they've got to keep a stranglehold, keep control. We know what happens if they lose it. Big effort from Dallaglio there in the midfield, and the knock-on following the dispossession.
First in the tackle by Blue, then by White.
It's actually knocked out of Dallaglio's hand, so it's going to be an England put-in.
And this is a great attacking position for England. Big blind side on the right. Scrummage will be rock solid, that's for sure. Something surely must come from this.
No, guys. No, wait, please. Leave me go.
Well, Lucy's off to the right with Balshaw. Grayson's to the left with Abbott and Cat.
We're up. We go again. White ball.
Got to set it again.
Calm down, guys. Crouch and hold.
Spanish-speaking
Engage.
nation, Uruguay.
Middle.
Dead in front of the post.
Advantage.
Dallaglio keeping it at the feet.
Number 1.
It's screwed round.
Number 3, sorry, up.
And Lemoyne is going to be penalised for slipping the binding in the end, and it's in front of the post. And they set the scrum again. That's the choice.
Yes, England doing some scrummaging practice. Not quite sure this is what they need. I'd rather see it moved out to the right.
Step up.
Try and create a try with plenty of space there.
Well, golden chance for Gumbersall maybe to whip off to the right, with or without the back row. Make it 3-2, surely. Here he goes. Lucy slips the tackle. Try number 2. Well, you'd have done that, wouldn't you?
Well, I would have tried, that's for sure. Good try, well created. All had to go. So much space there. Turns well for him, right-hand shoulder. Takes out the back row. And we know Lucy is very strong and quick. Good score for England.
Well, the man here scoring the tries, certainly seen his career revitalised with Wasps and England A, that brought him back into the England lineup. And looks to all intents and purposes the man who's going to settle at 15 for England in the big games. (12-3), Grayson to convert, which he does. prospects of a celebratory afternoon for those thousands of England supporters here.
Yeah, and that's more like it. We know England can push them over. That's easy. Create tries, that's what we want to see. Well played, Josh Lucy.
Product of Bristol University. They've produced some great rugby players in international rugby, and Royal Military Academy Sandhurst, of course, where he qualified as an army officer, but realised he couldn't mix the two things, at least for his rugby playing professional years.
In front.
That's a bit harsh on Uruguay, just in front of the restart kick, but referees have to be consistent.
Yeah, that's just what they didn't want.
Not an option, guys.
Another scrummage, they just had 3 hard ones.
Okay, let's have it.
Ideal for England. Again, lots of space, both sides.
Engage. Middle, please. You've gone. Advantage.
Delalio, Gummersall, here's the same lineup again. Lucy this time to Balshaw. Balshaw cuts in field, they'll not catch him. Streaking home, Ian Balshaw. That lad's got his confidence back.
Yeah, when he's on form, he's a fine sight, isn't he? Very smooth and silky. Eats up the yardage. Big strides. And again, came from 8 to 9. Overlap created by Lucy. When Balshaw gets in the clear, he really is elusive and very, very quick.
Try number 3 then. It's good to see it being stretched left and right. Of course, wingers love getting early ball and having a chance to take on the opposite numbers. Good running, good, simple, straightforward, effective. As is the kick. 2 more for Grayson, 2 more for England. And that takes them after a more comfortable position now over the 20 mark.
Yes, a lot better. England started well first 5. And a series of little mistakes just stopped the flow. But now they're right back into it.
Dorian West there. Great servant of Leicester, of course. Made his debut in England colours at 30. I think that's the oldest debutant. Delalio sets it up on England's 22. Gummersall whips it out to Grayson. Lovely pass. Now good running from Catty. Mike Catt. Rejuvenated player if ever there were. Catty still all the way to Luger now. Luger to Danny Grucott. And Martin Corrie. That's Grayson. That's Delalio this time in the middle. This is the big thundering Phil Vickery. Cornishman to his roots. Flipped away to Gummersall standing off. Lucy. Viana tries hard to hold the tidal wave. It's beginning to overcome Uruguay's defence. Delalio again. Referee saying release it, release it. This is Corrie. Switched, of course, to the second row. Normally number 8, his favoured position. That's Balshaw. Went backwards. Off, neat, he's in. Just a couple of minutes after his first, recovered well. I think in the recovery he actually fooled the defenders. And that's Balshaw's second. And try number 8 for him in England colours.
England now looking very dangerous. This one started in their own 22, remember. Lovely flick pass from Grayson. Catt's in the clear. Support's coming left and right. Uruquay got there quickly. Ball recycled. Moved to the right again. Good hands. Just goes down a bit there, but they recovered it. And look at Balshaw. Picked it up, turned round, couple of side steps. Clean through. He's back in form.
Well, one of the quickest bonus points notched up. It's all, in a sense, academic at this stage. England having already qualified and knowing that a win would take them to the top of the group for sure. I don't think there's any doubt about that, but they've got the bonus point just for the record. Paul Grayson. Some kick that, and it's, you know, it's very comforting to know. We're talking about backups to Johnny Wilkinson, how consistently good Paul Grayson is as a goal kicker. He had 64 penalties, 56 conversions prior to the World Cup. He got 4 in the opening game as a replacement, conversions that is, and he's on target with 4 conversions today.
Yes, everybody's terrified of Johnny Wilkinson being injured. But I tell you what, Paul Grayson is a good backup. He's a terrific goal kicker. And I think the rest of his game's come on a bum. I think he's playing the best rugby of his life.
I agree with you, totally. Well, some players over 30, you get better.
Yeah, it takes a while for the penny to drop, but once it drops, it's good, isn't it?
Quick tap penalty, not 10 metres England. Uruguay desperate for the possession. They've been starved. Crumbs off the table so far. Aguirre, the fly half, sets it to his back. Powerful men. A little darting run from Campamar. And again Campamar. It's gone down, but
Not 10.
not 10 England.
Back we go on the
They'll get a
5-metre
second
line.
chance here. Well, I'm sure one of the targets for England is not to get their line crossed. They've conceded points, so they lost that one, but they won't want to try against them. Nice for Vickery. And special applause from the crowd who like the way that Uruguay are saying, well, we're going to take them on at the line out and try and score the try.
Yeah, quite right. Well done, Uruguay. Twice they've turned down penalty attempts now. They're on the board. What they really want to do is score a try. Have to get through him first.
Bado, behind him Alvarez, here's Lamalas. One of the shortest players in the tournament, alongside a couple of the biggest props. Now, they've got some weight here, bit of momentum. England struggling to check it, they've got in offside. I think Dalalio came in on the side. And it's going to be a penalty against England. There's Grucock getting up, Dalalio at the bottom. And Vickery is going to be...
Yeah, we were 2 penalties against this player in the last minute. Okay, the first one was for not releasing. This was joining at the side of the maul and then spinning around. I don't want to see it again, or we're going to have somebody on the touchline.
As I say, 2 penalties against Dalalio in the last couple of minutes. Got to be careful. He will be carded. Think about that one, Nigel. It was so blatant, wasn't it? He's in front of the referee trying to pull them all down.
Well, he's obviously eager. There he is. Eager to impress and do his bit today. He's found himself perhaps a little disorientated there, I think. So, right on the England line then. Uruguay throw. Good work with Grija. Grija and the drive now. They've got power here. They're rolling it off to the side. They're right on the England line. The backs are joining in. You can see the fly half, scrum half, the winger. They're all there. They go for the try, but there's a knock on. Oh, that's cruel.
Oh, so close. Uruguay almost made it. They're very confident with the driving maul. Remember, England's line only been crossed once in this tournament so far, and that was that magnificent try from Samoa. Uruguay could do it again, they'd be delighted. Here they go. They're good at this. Did it well against Georgia. Almost got there, just spilled it at the end.
So it's England.
Come up and hold. Engage.
Bit of a let off there. That's
Okay.
caved in.
Anything your side, Stewie? Pulling off. Okay. Crouch and keep the binding up. Hold, please. Engage.
It's not a bad Uruguayan scrummage effort. Dalalio takes the pressure off his scrum half by taking the stick himself, but it's come out Uruguay's way. Little Campamar, not far short of the line again. Now then, Grija.
Different play.
Or is it
Different
Lewis
player,
Moody?
Similar offence. Next one is a yellow card.
Yellow card warning. Same offence. Coming in at the wrong angle, coming in instead of coming in from behind the rearmost foot.
Yes, it was Moody, Nigel. He's got to be careful. His tackle, his penalty count in this tournament is too high. He's got to cut them out.
Yeah, don't bind on the ball.
Here comes the charge. Not allowed to bind on the ball carrier initially. England counter. Irresistible force against an immovable object almost. Here come Uruguay. They love this challenge. They love the beef. Well, it's one of the great exports from their country. They're stalemate at the moment. They've got to keep some momentum, or they've got to use it or lose it. It's a mighty pile-up here. There's a ball somewhere. There they have it. Campamar didn't buy his little dummy. Still 5 metres out. Still Uruguay possession. It's a bit like a sort of find the ball competition, isn't it? You have to mark the cross. There it is. All shouting out, he's got to release, he's got to release. There they go again. Well, you've got to admire their pluck here. Head first, now they spread. A little way with Aguirre, the captain. No way that way. Tremendous effort here from Uruguay, but fair play to England. They've not found a hole in their defence yet. And they're being tested. There he goes. Big number 2, Lamelas. Right to the line, but still short. What about that?
Terrific attack from Uruguay. Really taking it to England. You know, there's a lot of talk about the minnows in this tournament and the high scores, but for these guys, it's a fantastic occasion. 50,000 people, full house against England, and they're really giving it a go. Well done, Uruguay.
Well, I don't know about minnows. We've got a couple of bullocking whales here. There's the little hooker. Yeah, well, he's hard, isn't he? He's sort of 4 square, isn't he? And he can duck underneath most of them. He's only 5'6". Still, England with a bit of a storm to weather.
Anything obvious, Whitey? Yep. Both binding up, binding on top, please. Crouch and hold.
It's a formidable trio, that is. Beruti, Lamelas, Lemoyne. Now the back row. Unlucky for Capo Ortega. Scrum half Campamar. He's got the big number 5. That's Alvarez. Standing off is Grija. There he goes. They're determined, aren't they? But so is England's defence, to be fair. Aguirre, collared by Delalio. And turned, but still possession for Uruguay. Capo Ortega again. What a sustained effort this is. Bang, Bardo's down. Still again. And again, Capo, the number 8. Still the 5-metre line. Once more, the back row, and Capo Ortega. Now the scrum half, Campamar. Well, they're snuffing them out, England, here. Time and time again. Whoops. Play on. As not sure why Gamasol took out the number 4 quite so vehemently. It's still there. Well, this is what forwards thrive on, isn't it? Particularly Uruguayan ones. This is the way they love to play it, rest assured. This is where they see their strength, and it's certainly testing England. Still in play. Everyone's there, fullback included. The ball is out. As the referee said it, everyone said, right, let's have a go for it. And there they are. That's incredible. It was that wonderful, the referee. The ball is out. Oh, right.
So funny that all the Uruguayan 3/4 are actually in the ruck and the maul. There was only 2 out. They passed the ball out. There was nobody to pass it out to. So I think we can guess the game plan. That's where the referee said ball out. Suddenly it was a feast. And England just glad to get their hands on it again. They've not touched it for about 5 minutes.
Absolutely. Well, he's seen most things as Big Jason. But that is probably new experience. Well, the whole thing's new experience, of course, because England have never played Uruguay before. We've got an injury, which just gives me time to make a little reminder that after this match, over on ITV1, you can see the Pool D game between New Zealand and Wales. Coverage starts at 9:25, so don't miss that on ITV1 after this match. And don't forget the website, itv.com/RWC. It's all on there. The relief of the put-in for Gamasol and England. And the penalty to follow. Scrummage crabbing around, and the players, I think, slipping the binding. Well, was that to be Uruguay's best effort? 8.5 minutes to go of this first half. They certainly stemmed the tide, though, which England threatened to overwhelm them with.
Certainly did. A lot of pressure for the last 5 minutes. You can see Uruguay slipping the bind, and at last, England relieve their lines.
Truth is, of course, Uruguay want to play it that way all afternoon, won't they? It's their best way of at least containing England. Krukop with the line out, Buin. Gumsall looking for it. Perhaps one too many forwards in the way. Grayson slips it, Dalalio. Louis had to go to ground with it. It's up again now with Corrie. This is Lucy. Luga forward. Just. Oh, how frustrating that must be. Never happened to me to be in that position, but it must be for a winger when he's going to skate home.
And it was a tight one as well. Luger a bit flat, to be fair. It was marginal. Got to say the referee was right on the spot.
Dan Luger legally on the pitch this time. Time in opposition territory. Did you just see that? 54-46 in favour of Uruguay. That's the effect of that camping in the England 22. Within 5 metres of the line, but when someone's camped there for, say, 10 minutes, it says a lot when you don't concede a score.
Engage.
Juan Campamar leaves it for Capo, the number 8. Nice feed on to Brignoni. Good feed as well to Campamar again. No fools. Good interplay, good back row scrum half. England's quick throw. Fed on from Cat via Abbott to Balshaw. Lucy, Balshaw. They're enjoying this. Balshaw, oh, lovely play. Mike Cat, restored to England colours, gets the try that he will have long awaited.
There's Mike Cat, he's happy. What a lovely try it was. Started with a quick throw from the line out in their own 22. And it was just outside. England moving to the right. It's this man Balshaw again. He's really looking sharp. Plenty of support. Balshaw just cutting them to ribbons. And then Mike Cat, he's on the end of it to finish it off.
Quite a tale, really, for Mike Cat. Yes, he can afford a smile. He wasn't even in the last 43 of the England squad earlier this year, then got called up 2 years since his last cap. And this man's kicking 100% tonight. Paul Grayson. And so after all that pressure, England show some real rugby class with a cracking try. They're over 30, 35-3, just over 5 to go of this half.
Yeah, that's the difference. The Uruguayans use their backs to go into rucks and mauls. England use theirs to score tries from their own try line.
So Mike Cat with his 6th England try and showing a new lease of life in his 3rd World Cup.
Every decision that goes against you, it's becoming very, very difficult not to penalise him. Okay, will you please tell him to accept? Yes, please.
There's the captain Alguerre. I can't help thinking what a Dave Trick lookalike he is. The old Bath and England winger. There he is, dead ringer.
Just a little general warning to his team about repeated infringements. 5 England tries. Aguirre. Dalalio. Power they're calling for. England, you could perhaps hear the cry. Dorian West was the dive past Merchant. Fine bounce in the end. The winger Pastore. Knock on blue, advantage white. Huge feed, good feed that is from Gummersall, that's classy. Lucy no way through though. Great tackle by Race. Underway now with Aguirre. One of the veterans of the piece, former fly half, ousted from that position by his brother, so he moved into the centre. Juan Carlos Bardo plays his rugby for Bergle in France. Neat little chip down the... Oh, unlucky, it's on the full. What a save from Campamar.
Yeah, that's a pity. That's the difference really between the two teams. England backs looking very fluent, and they're even attacking from their own try line now.
Balshaw is revelling in this. Plenty of ball. Here's Worsley. Pirouettes through the tackle, pops it over the top to Delalio, sets it to Lucy. Well, they can cope with powerful forwards charging at them. They find it much more difficult to contain these backs with pace. And a little bit of flair here. Dorian West to Grucock. Not quite so much flair between those two, but here's some. Luger. Well, someone has to do the donkey work to set up these chances. We've got an injured player, Stuart Abbott, midfield. No, you can't do that. You can't come round offside.
Number 1 in at the side, and number 4. 1 and 4.
Eduardo Berruti, Juan Carlos Bardo. Well, Abbott's back on his feet anyway, and so too is Ian Balshaw.
Paul Grayson will just hug the touchline. England hungry for more tries before the end of the first half. This is a great position for them.
Difficult thing in a way for England is that you're on a hiding to nothing, aren't you? You know, if you score 100 points, people say, so what? And if you're contained and it becomes a problem, people say, well, what a poor effort. But some good rugby by England in this early part. This is Gummersall, stretches, makes it. Andy Gummersall, well, for 2 years he wasn't selected, a bit like Cat. It's been a bit of a roller coaster in 2003. He started, he was a sub, he was dropped, he's recalled. And now he's playing for England in the World Cup and he scores his first try of the competition.
Yes, and he's also playing the best rugby of his life, a bit like Grayson. Halfbacks do mature later on, but they suss it all out.
Most of them do. Steve Smith alongside me, still maturing. Great try by Gummersall. Here's Grayson. An immaculate kicking performance from him so far. But it's a tidy pair of halfbacks. Most countries would be pleased to have either of these two, wouldn't they?
Yes, England well blessed. 3 top-class scrum halves. There's one of them. Andy Gummersall, Johnny Wilkinson, one of the best in the world. And Paul Grayson, terrific backup.
So comfortably placed at 42-3. We're in the last minute of this first half. I think 6 tries. Given that there was that 10-minute battle up front, was that high on Delalio? It was quite a collision there between the two. I think it was Bardo and Delalio. So it's going to be a penalty against England. I think this is a sympathetic gesture from the referee. Cheer Uruguayans up before half-time. Not sure what Delalio did wrong there.
What they would do. Uruguay turned down 3 penalty kicks at goal. This time they're going to have a go. That's the running by Delalio. It was a thumping tackle, chest to chest, I would think, and that's where England give away the penalty for holding on.
Capo gets up. Delalio looks a little bemused by the decision. Delalio over 60 appearances now, and of course a great servant with Wasps, 14 seasons with them. Menchaca, though, may give Uruguay the last word of this first half. He's lost his boot, but he's kicked the goal, and that's what matters. Doesn't happen a lot, that, so it's a little bit of encouragement, a morale boost for Uruguay on the stroke of half-time. As the half-time whistle blows, it's 42 points to 6 here at the Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. England comfortably ahead. 42 points to Uruguay's 6.
They come out. A reminder, they lead by 42 points to 6. Let's rejoin Steve Smith and Nigel Starmer-Smith.
Thanks, folks, and if you just joined us, welcome along for what should be a celebratory 40 minutes for England rugby. There's a man making his first start today, Dorian West, betwixt Jason Leonard and the captain of the day, Phil Vickery. 42-6. I'll not be satisfied with that yet, of course. Uruguay conceded 72 points to South Africa in their opening game, to 6. And then 60 to Samoa, 60-13 before their great day, which was the victory over Georgia, 24-12. But I guess England, well, they're halfway to the tally they got against Georgia in their opening game. 84 points they put on Georgia. That might be about on target for Gummersall and crew, who feeds Delalio. Halfway thoughts, Steve Smith?
I think they'll be quite pleased, Nigel. They started well, had a bit of a slump after about 10 minutes, but they've played some good rugby. I think they've scored some really creative tries, and that really must be the aim of the day.
Yeah, some lovely moments, some good scores. This guy's enjoying himself, young Ian Balshaw. Someone whose career is very swiftly rejuvenated. Certainly went off the boil. Lucy, oh, very nicely laid off to Joe Worsley. Little pop pass in the end. This is Worsley, no slouchy. Oh, well taken. Josh Lucy, great start to the second half. Lucy with a sting in the tail from the London Wasp.
I was just saying that England had scored some very creative tries, and that's another one. Once again, it's a sweeping movement. It's the dummy long ball. Worsley took it on the rattle. Good pace for a big man, and lovely hands. Couldn't catch it. Lucy certainly could. He's home and dry.
Well, we're watching the man, I think, rounding off this move. Great work from Worsley here. But the creativity was terrific too, wasn't it? Here's a man who's played twice on the wing, 8 times fullback, once at centre, twice at fly half in his England career. And I think he's destined to keep that shirt.
Well, they mix and match them all the time, him and Jason Robinson, don't they? A couple of games in this tournament. Lucy's actually had 15 on his back and played on the wing.
True. It's a miss from Paul Grayson. That is an event in itself. Scored every conversion in the first half. And Martin Johnson just keeping tabs on things. He's on the bench today, of course, together with his Leicester partner, Ben Kay. Just a little bit of discussion as to what might not happen. Maybe 1 or 2 of those on the bench will want to run out. Will Greenwood's back in town, of course. He's restored after his brief return home. Julian White there, as well as Kieran Brack and Jason Robinson. So we'll expect some change of personnel along the way. The best pass from Gummersall, didn't know what his target was, I don't think. No one seemed to be lining up for it. That's Gummersall, though, swiftly on via Corrie. Luger. Oh, will take some catching now, and he Menchaca to stop him. Luger has got the legs on him, surely. Menchaca tries hard, but Menchaca can't catch Luger. And the man with the Croatian father and the Czech mother gets his name on the scorecard for today, the new member of the Perpignan club.
Luger toying with Menchaca. His tight work up the blind side. He took it nice and flat. Ball in the wrong arm, but it doesn't really matter. He's got the pace. Menchaca comes at him. He swaps the ball to the right arm this time. Just swats him off, uses his strength.
The legal winger on this occasion. While we're watching all this, we've got a couple of injury troubles out on the pitch for England, with Corrie's gone down. Looks like it could be maybe cramp, I'm not sure. Meanwhile, the conversion is missed. And Balshaw's receiving attention as well. And it looks as though Martin Johnson is going to take over from Martin Corrie. That's logical enough, though I'm not sure he would have wanted the outing today. But he's been called on a sub.
No, I don't think he would, Nigel. I don't think Woodward would want his captain on the pitch in this game. I think he'd want him rested. Corrie's obviously injured.
And Balshaw bringing the stretcher out to him. Ian Balshaw is going to come off. So it'll be your man from Sale, who's delighted us all so often and already in this World Cup. Well, I hope that's not... I mean, Corrie doesn't look at all bad. He's actually still out there at the moment. And this is less good. This is Ian Balshaw, who's been running so well. Played so well in that warm-up game against France, which clinched his place. I'm sure Balshaw, this will be a... Let's hope it's nothing untoward. It may be just precautionary. Corrie is now coming off. And the replacement for Uruguay is also poised, Marcelo Gutierrez. But let's hope that's mostly precautionary for Ian Balshaw, one of the bright sparks in English back play at the moment, as Jason Robinson takes his place. And replacements follow in a flurry now for Uruguay. On comes Juan Andres Perez. Well, he seems to have changed over there to on his number 20 now, in fact, Marcelo Gutierrez. And number 17, Rodrigo Sanchez. Uruguay will get it straight before long. Don't think Perez came on at all. My mistake. Grucock downed by Brignoni. Now with Lewis Moody.
Leave it there. Put it down.
Bit of back chat, England.
First offence, not releasing in the tackle.
Not releasing in the tackle. Extra 10 metres for talking back to the ref. Nigel Williams there from Wales. Not him, the ref.
Uruguay want that try, don't they? Spurn the penalty again. It's quite an easy one. Oh, this is Balshaw where he got injured, and I've got to say that was a sorry sight seeing him stretchered off. He's had a lot of injuries over the last few years, and he looked as though he was just coming right back into form. Certainly had a great game in this match.
Yeah, he really was back to his sparkling best, and England can ill afford that injury.
Up we get. White, you had hold of him when he was in the air. No.
Another penalty.
Hold of him in the air.
Holding the opposition player, or messing around with him while he was in the air. This is Sebastian Aguirre. And they're going again for the line out. Well, are we going to get another of those goal line battles? So Uruguay's throw through Lamelas. Alvarez wins possession. Now they roll it off. Good rolling ball. This is little Lamelas again, the hooker. So dangerous, so close to the line. Now they're trying to spread it. Aguirre up the middle is De Freitas. Now the drive, the forwards are there, not quite able to keep the momentum. England get in the way, helped by Luger. Sort of block their path. They come again. The power of Lemoyne. Oh yes! The big Uruguayan drop. 19.5 stone. Delight and joy from Montevideo up and down the country, because the try is Uruguay's, and the man to score it there. Well, a bit of a legend in Uruguayan circles. Pablo Lemoyne, Uruguay's first ever rugby professional.
Well, they've been Pablo'd. Hooker almost made it. He takes some stopping. Lemoyne. Many people cross that England line. He's one of them. It's Route 1, isn't it? Well, I've got to say, Nigel, Uruguay deserved that. They could have had some penalties, they ignored them. Delighted for them.
Menchaca, and the conversion. Well, that will be some sort of a victory in itself, to have scored against England in their first ever meeting. This, the world-ranked 19th country, and this is a moment they will treasure. That will be replayed in every pub and club in Uruguay for the next 4 years. Nice take by Worsley. Demisol, Grayson, Lucy. Going fast and loose. Demisol, this time Abbott, part of that South African centre partnership. This is a brilliant individual skill. Abbott, the youngster in the backs, alongside the old hand Mike Cat, both South African born, both sparkling today, and Abbott, special moment for him, his second England try ever.
England hit back straight away. Contrast really is the style of the two tries. We saw Lemoyne, Route 1, battling over. Now we see the silky skills of the England backline. It's a lovely run from Abbott. Two right-footed side steps, and he's almost under the post.
Grayson back on target. We're up to 59-13. And that's the 9th England try. Little gem, this one. Off once, off twice. Then a streak home. Tidy. Dalalio, Demisol, Worsley. Demisol again. Bravo. Abbott fancying his chances every time he touches the ball from now on, I guess. Grayson, let's play it down there. And Chaka. And Chaka. Not a bad ball. Robinson will want room to run, but he's been enveloped. Good follow-up by the full-back and the winger Viana. It's the sort of game that Robinson will thrive in. He just gets half a chance. Laid back by the Cat, and now it's Dorian West. Doesn't fancy the 80-yard run to the line. Good cover, brave cover from Gutierrez.
Yes, Uruguay saying to England, you get your tries, you're going to have to earn them. Certainly putting the tackles in when they can. It's just when it goes out wide, the speedy England backline is too much for them. There's Dorian West in strange territory on the right wing. Mike Cat cut down.
So Martin Johnson out there. I think there's a bit of delay on the throw-in, not sure of the call. A lot of noise here, big crowd. Well, where hasn't there been a big crowd? Tremendous. Too delayed, though. Too long a delay. Oof. Nearly dropped it, Dalalio. Tackled by Gutierrez. Grayson. He's certainly made this backline operate. Here's Lucy. Lucy with Luga, won't need him. Josh Lucy. Hat-trick for him. He's having a good day.
The whole of the England backline is Nigel. They look very, very sharp. Just look at Grayson here, how flat he is, how good his hands are. Stops the Uruguayan defence, then puts it out wide. That's what creates it. Once you give people like Lucy space and time, they'll score all day long.
Well, people might denigrate the opposition, but you've got to do it to get them. And they've been extremely fleet of foot and simple things done well in the three-quarter line today. And it's, I don't know, people saying it's all done and dusted. I wonder, this might ask a few questions of some of those who seem to be the first choices. Here's Grayson. Some kick as well. It's certainly happening outside Grayson today.
Yes, England needed game time. No matter how much you train.
Number 3.
People don't realise they haven't played for quite a while. They've played two very, very hard games. And now this, of course, been a simple one. But they're playing pretty well. The back line certainly is.
Preparing to come on is Alzueta there, but coming off here is the captain, Phil Vickery. And I guess Martin Johnson might just take over. The referee's asking who's the captain now that Vickery's gone. There's Phil Vickery, one of the grand men of Cornwall, originally with the Red Ruth Club, nowadays, of course, a bit further up country in Gloucester. He's done a good job. As Juan Alzueta comes on. And so we have Julian White on for England, Alzueta for Uruguay. Alvarez off. Well, it's all changed now. I'm tempted to say all the Uruguayan replacements have come on now. Ray's been on and off, and he's back on for good, I guess. And this time, Viana goes off for Uruguay. I think that makes them all. So a nice opportunity for Julian White here. Played the last game against Samoa. Grayson, he's got confidence tonight. Delalio takes up very useful positions. Mike Catt. Yes, occasionally it's sensible to come back to basics, play the game in their half.
Yeah, Mike Catt smiling. Slow it down, boys, will you? Let's have a rest.
Well, I think his selection was quite an inspired one from Clive Woodward. Seemed to be raise a few, if not a lot, of surprises amongst many rugby pundits, but I think given the current crop of midfield players, his inclusion was eminently sensible. He's certainly proving the point today. Gummersall. Grayson, there's Catt. Catt looking for the cream, but passes it to Abbott, to Robinson. This is a lovely little interplay, scampering home. Didn't take long for him to make his mark. Jason Robinson. First try of the World Cup for him. Won't be the last.
Well, one thing he knew for sure is that Billy Wizard get on the score sheet. For me, once again, it's made by Grayson. Lovely long cut-out pass. Puts Catt through the hole. He offloads. Plenty of support. The angles that Robinson runs are brilliant. Back to his rugby league days. On the shoulder. Eyes bulging. Try line coming towards him. Nobody will stop him from there.
25 caps, 13 tries for England, and another conversion for Paul Grayson. Well, that's 9 conversions of 11 tries. That's a very tidy percentage. That was a happy initiation for Jason Robinson too. Well played, Catty, as well.
Yeah, lovely pass from Grayson, wasn't it? Put Catt in the hole. He's played well. They've all played well. The England backs, outstanding.
Question is, has it created more questions than it's provided answers?
It's a tough call, Nigel. You've just got to weigh up the strength of the opposition, really. Uruguayan backs aren't really up to it.
No. That's the hard part for the guys who are trying to press for selection, of course, isn't it? People will say, well, it was only Uruguay. But it's been very slick. Worsley, Gummersall, Luger's out there. Buys the dummy, the Uruguayan defence. Well played, Gummersall. Eventually the pass and man ball at the same time. But he's back there to feed. Grayson, it's on here. Mismove, taken by Delalio. Lucy! Sweet.
He's delighted, Josh Lucy. England now just cutting the Uruguayan defence to ribbons. Once again, it's nice and fluent. Long, wide, accurate passes. Great pick-up, Delalio. There's Lucy. He'll run those in all day long, believe you me.
Try number 4 for the 26-year-old. Where's a wasp who can fly?
Just going back to your point about selection, Nigel, I think one thing Woodward did have under his belt when he came into this tournament, he knew what his best team was. Sides like South Africa, for some reason, didn't. I think he'll stick with that team unless he sees people lose form.
10 out of 12. The percentages get better and better for Paul Grayson. All tries and conversions, no penalties today. 10 out of 12. All adds to the tally, which moves up to around 80 now. 80 to 13. 56, 57 minutes played. Makes it about 23 to go. Well, we're still some way off the record of 20 tries that England scored against Romania. That was November 2 years ago against Romania, but this is a World Cup. Jason Robinson twists, turns, slippery as an eel. Delalio just straight through De Freitas there. Here they come again. Mike Catt. What's he going to do? Well, brave cover defence. Fair play. Tried to find Robinson on the inside, and Catt just turned his ankle as he went over. But yeah, Steve.
Yeah, well, Menchaka, he came across from nowhere. Catt cutting the lines, tries to go outside him. Couldn't do it. Well tackled.
You could actually see it in his face. He knew what was coming, didn't he? There's Mike Catt. Well, he's flourishing today. 32-year-old. All those back and hamstring troubles, knee troubles. But Gummersall breaks clear. Well, it's been, as we said, a celebratory afternoon. This lot have had a great trip up here to Brisbane. It's a lovely place to be, especially in the sun, and especially when England are running in tries that are a delight to behold.
Poor old Uruguay now. The shot. Here they spread wide because they fear the England back line. There's a great big gap right up the middle. Gummersall doesn't miss those.
It's interesting, really, how the backs have taken over, because Lewis Moody scored the very first score of the match after just a couple of minutes. The backs have had the lot since then. And Grayson keeps on kicking. And England keep on scoring. And Lucy, by the way, with his 4 tries, that's the best ever for England in a World Cup. There's another little bit of info for the statisticians amongst you. And for Gummersall, well, he'll have been delighted to have had this chance to show his talents in his first start of the World Cup. They've played well together, those two, Grayson, Gummersall. Well, we talked about Catt's return. I suppose Grayson's was quite as remarkable too, with his recall coming after 3 years and 4 months since his previous cap, prior to this World Cup. What a kick.
He deserved that recall, Nigel. He was almost in semi-retirement, really. He went on one England tour as the kicking coach. Talked out of it. Went back to Northampton, started playing really well. Believe you me, he would not let England down.
Played the 99 World Cup, 4 matches, 54 points there. There's Martin Johnson taking over the reins. 11 conversions, 22 points for Paul Grayson. Certainly eliminates any sort of worries should there be a loss of form or injury for Johnny Wilkinson. It's been an excellent all-round performance at half-back today. But to an extent, That's to say, it's as good as you're allowed to be, and it's been fairly lax
Number 7
in terms
White,
of defence in the back.
in the side of the tackle.
Yeah, a lot of pluses. Back line, obviously. Front five have got the ball, and the back row's been outstanding. Mood has been everywhere. So's Worsley. And, of course, backed up by the ever-reliant Big Lol, Lawrence Dallaglio. They've had a good afternoon as well.
Alzueta from one of the few clubs that's not involved in Montevideo itself. That's the capital of Uruguay. This is Trebol Paysandú, which is outside, and we're waiting for an injury there. We've got a couple of players ready to take over. I think everyone might have a run before the end. Who's on the bench? Kieran Bracken down below me, I can see, and Will Greenwood. So the replacement, Juan Alzueta, back on his feet. Second row replacement. Well, what's happening now? This is the replacements. So the changeover is for both Gummersall and Grayson. I think they've had an excellent afternoon, those two. As Will Greenwood comes on, and he'll switch into centre, and Catty will go up to fly half. Just to give him a bit of experience there as well.
Yes, that's good thinking by Woodward. The two boys going off, they've had a great afternoon. One of the reasons he picked Cat for the squad initially was he wanted 3 fly halves. So he's going to give him a run out there. Smart thinking.
It's 87-13 here in Brisbane, the Suncorp Stadium. We've still 18 minutes to play. I don't think we'll get up to the tally of 142-0, which Australia rattled up against Namibia. But I think England have got most of the things they'd have hoped for to happen this afternoon, and they've certainly erased from memory. And forgive me for reminding them of the last time England played here in the Suncorp Stadium, Brisbane, which was in 1998, and the score against Australia was 0-76.
That's only a 13, Nigel, doesn't count.
Okay, so there you are, folks, it doesn't count. It's 87-13 here. There are a few out there who remember it. And I think every living member who enjoys rugby in Australia certainly has that in the forefront of their memory. They do look for any excuse to knock England, don't they?
Off your feet, up, please.
Yeah, I saw one TV advert advertising the game. It said, come and watch the best 16-man team in the world.
Here's a chance of something for Uruguay, apart from the cramp. There's the captain, Diego Aguirre, from the Carrasco Polo Club in Montevideo. Graphic designer by profession. There's only a handful who play any professional rugby here. A couple of players in the junior echelons in French rugby. Champagnat, one of the junior clubs, but Stade Francais, Lemoyne, who scored their try, that's where he hails from. And L'Aquila for Brignoni, Castro for Capo Ortega, the number 8, but apart from that, they're all amateurs and have other professional jobs. So, Uruguay, not in any sort of a hurry. They're trying to wind down the clock now, I think, and they've had their celebration with victory over Georgia, 3-0 in this pool. And they've done their best here. They've had their moments in this match. Let's not forget that.
No early jumping. We go again. Again. Okay.
Repeat throw. That'll waste another 30 seconds for them. Los Telos.
Okay. No early jump.
That little bird that looks a bit like a kiwi on their strip, which is, I think, in England parlance, a hoopoe. Bird with little black and white on its head. Jono's in the midst of it, but it's come back Uruguay's way. Can they create from the midfield here? Well, they gave it. It's meant to be a sort of a pop pass. It went straight to Stuart Abbott. And England will run from here, inside from Greenwood. Uruquay still running. Lucy, it rebounds off the defence. Katz, he's a talented soccer player he was. Menchaca goes back. He'll run all day, the little fullback. Good kick. Luga has to go right back deep into the 22. Well, they'll run everything now. He was enveloped by Brignoni there.
Ball formed, collapse, turnover ball.
Ball formed, collapse, turnover ball. Very clear from referee Nigel Williams.
It wasn't going to come immediately. That's a turnover ball.
And he's had a good game as well, hasn't he, the referee? Plenty of action from him. He's been nice and sympathetic with the Uruguayans. Kept his card in his pocket. Spoken to both sets of players all the time. He's had a good game.
Well, I'm sure you're aware, but just to remind you, after this match is over, on ITV1 you can see the big one between New Zealand and Wales. That coverage begins at 9:30. And so you perhaps take a late breakfast and sit down and see how Wales can cope with the mighty All Blacks. That's at 9:30, ITV1. Don't forget our website, itv.com/RWC. Here's the Uruguayan scrummage then, on the retreat this time. I think they've given their lot, but they're still trying, aren't they? De Freitas, not quite sure which way to go, smothered by Greenwood. He'll be glad to get boots back on and on the paddock again. Little Campomard. Half break by Reyes. Campomar still giving out a useful service. Diego Aguirre on via De Freitas. Just forward. Well, there's some tired legs out there, but my word, I think they'll have done their country really proud. And I know that there was already great jubilation at their victory over Georgia. That was forward. Good refereeing. Got to be consistent. Can't just give away, take sympathy with the underdogs.
Up we get.
Here's Kieran Bracken.
Move apart, please. We need the gap. He's got to get in there,
a useful obstacle to South
in.
Africa in his appearance in that game. Certainly made life difficult for Van der Westhuizen.
Engage.
Around the base. It's the go faster haircut that did it. Here's Robbo. Jason Robinson, one hand on. Dink inside. Finally, brave tackle. And the tackle was by Campomar again, but this is Greenwood. Greenwood marks his return to the fray. Popular try, that'll be. Gone through some tough times recently. Back here now in Australia. And immediately gets on the scoreboard.
He's happy to be back on the pitch. Good player, Will Greenwood, so creative. England need him playing at his best if they're going to win this tournament. I mean, here he just carves holes out of nothing. It's Robinson that sets it up. He doesn't need much space, does he? Off his dancing feet. Then as soon as he put the ball wide, there's Wilkinson. There's Greenwood running through tackles. Running it in quite easy. Welcome back, Will Greenwood.
England's 14th try. And his third of the tour. One against Georgia. And Cat gets the cream. His conversion. 12 conversions. With 11 by Grayson, is it? And 1 by Greenwood. (94-13), so well ahead of their highest score. Not their highest in World Cup history, of course. 101 against Tonga in '99 is their highest thus far, but that's under threat now. with still 11 minutes to play.
Nice shot of Clive Woodward there, smiling. Not quite as tense as he was against Samoa.
Not quite the same. Fed on via Kieran Bracken. Cat, Robinson. Oh yes. Well, brave running from Menchaca, but Robinson can't be opposed. Well, that's Billy Whiz in full flight.
Tell you what, Nigel, one-on-one against this lad. You haven't got a prayer. Look at that. Could have gone either way. Remember that wonderful try he scored for the Lions over here. In about an inch of room. Now the face, he knows he can get there. Terrific pictures. Scoring another try in a long list of tries he scored for England and for Wigan. Fantastic talent.
Up to 99. Here's Cat again. Not this time. It stays at 99.
And it's 99 not out. 10 more minutes yet. I love this picture of Robinson. Look at this, poor little Campamar. He's come across, he's no idea which way he's going to go. He hasn't got a prayer. One-on-one, he will skin anybody in the world.
Three tests, Lions tour, of course, out here. 2 tries he scored then. And tonight, was that his second? That's 14 England tries. It's a good strike rate. Already played full-back wing and replacement centre for England as Jason Robinson is on the wing again here. Bracken. Big Jono. Cat. Greenwood. Slipped the tackle that was a little bit high. Stuart Abbott. Well, it's been an impressive centre pairing between the man from Western Province and the man from Eastern Province. Jason Leonard, we haven't seen so much of him. He does all the graft, of course. We know he's there because England are doing well. This is Greenwood again. Well, you've got to admire the pluck of the Uruguayans. They're just permanently on the retreat. And finally, Cat. On the round arc, they're just outgunning them now. The floodgates well and truly opened, and nothing that Uruguay can do to stem this tide of success for England here as they take it over the 100 mark and to a new highest ever score in World Cup rugby for them, but still some way short of the 142 points that remain the highest ever scored by anybody. England's best is 134 against Romania. Their most tries is 20. They might just about get there now. 73 minutes gone.
Yes, it was Bracken that made it. A couple of breaks he made earlier on, then he put the ball straight to Mike Cat in a big hole round the fullback. And there's a happy little Catty.
Happy Cat. "16 tries, 106 points. And that is the 13th conversion. 2 more for a record. Not that these records mean anything, really.
Incredible announcement just been made in the stadium. The attendances and been over 1.2 million people. Fantastic.
Well, every game has just been fantastically supported. Dorian West, Jason Leonard, Bracken, Delalio, Jono. Oh, this is lovely interplay. Now with Moody. Fantastic support. Huge crowd here. Remember, it holds 56,500 people, and there are very few empty seats. Phenomenal support. My word, they do these things well out here. The support, the promotion. Here's Lucy. He's off for another. Josh Lucy. 5 tries. That's a full hand. And he's a handful.
I told you, Nigel, we'll run him in all day long, Josh Lucy. Fit as a butcher's dog. Look at that. Took it on the rattle. Plenty of pace into the corner. It's Greenwood who set him up. England passing has been good. Really put people in holes. Once you give these boys space, time and gaps, they'll punish you.
Well, he's equalled a record for Lambert. England against France in 1907. As the conversion misses. And for Rory Underwood for England against Fiji in 1989, of 5 tries in one game for England. So that's a little moment of history for Josh Lucy here. And he might have time to break that record.
Certainly will. Seems a long time ago now, since Big Lemoyne trundled over the try line.
I thought you were going to say since 1907, when David Lambert scored his 5 tries against France. Yes, yes, Lemoyne with that moment of heroism for Uruguay. And they're still out there playing, and you asked them afterwards, yeah, we're glad we played England. We know we've still got lowly status in world rugby, but this was an occasion that we will cherish and have learned from and benefited from. Jono doing good work there.
It's come forward, no advantage.
It went forward though.
Scrum down, blue ball.
Jono's upset that that was called back. After all that effort.
Will he ever be satisfied? I think the only way you'll satisfy Martin Johnson if you see him with the World Cup trophy at the end of the tournament.
Absolutely, that was the only moment. Might get a grin then. Oh! That was high. No.
Away!
So, Worsley. Please.
Away.
Well, it was dangerous.
Appreciate that, can you?
Those things I don't think are deliberately, but he's going to get a yellow card here.
It was high, it was dangerous.
Yeah.
That's 10 minutes.
A little sour note to end the proceedings with. He didn't mean it. It was instinctive. He won't let people past him. He's a back row forward and he likes tackling and he tackles well. It was the guy cut back inside, but you know, you cannot go high. It was dangerous and the guy's still on the deck. So unlucky for Joe Worsley. He's played well, but they're 111 up. Well, no, he shouldn't be looking to the crowd to applaud or otherwise, I don't think. And Uruguayan player, I'm happy to say, looks like he's certainly sitting up there. See it now.
Certainly was high, Nigel. The ironing board came out. Just pulled his arm round him.
Pastore.
The stiff arm's the dangerous one. His arm's bent. Referee's right. He's got a sin bin in for that.
Yeah, he whipped him round as well. But Joaquin Pastore is restored. 2.5 minutes to go. He has to sit out the last couple of minutes of this game. He doesn't miss the first 7.5 of the next, of course. Although, no doubt, somebody out here will be right that England should only have 14 when they start their next game.
I'm sure somebody in the Australian press
That's
will
what
pick
I
it
mean.
up.
That's it. So, a last flourish maybe for Uruguay. This guy's worked hard. Rodrigo Capo Ortega from the Cast Club. Here they go. The big boys have got a little bit left. They're almost on the line. That break off the Splinter group there. But the Splinter ain't sharp enough. It's been pulled out. And that's a slice kick. Drop goal. This is best chance. No. Still Uruguay's ball. Aguirre. Julian White put in a good tackle there.
Touch judge report.
Touch judge report.
Please.
So some sort of foul play.
Back of the ruck across there, when it was down there, ball coming back for England. At the back, 22 blue, rucking an England player nowhere near the ball.
Okay, so 22 blue, rucking
Diego
away from the ball. Okay, the recommendation is? Okay. 22 blue. Captain, 22 blue. Is it 22?
Yeah.
Okay, touch judge report in the ruck near the line. You were using your feet on an England
Steve Smith alongside me here. Match report from you on the England performance.
I think Clive will be delighted, Nigel. Like you said, you can only play what's in front of you. What I've liked, the backs have looked really sharp. Front five have done their job. Back row have had a good workout. People like Mike Catt, Will Greenwood, Gumasol, playing for the first time, all doing really well. Yeah, I think they'll be pleased.
1-1-1. That's the score to Uruguay's 13. Glad they're on the board. They deserve some reward. And if you're a darts player, you'd know what 1-1-1 was. This is the incident. Nelson. Cat. Impressed with him tonight. Greenwood, Delalio, Greenwood on the loop. They want more. And with Martin Johnson on the field, they'll never be allowed to sort of ease off a bit. Nicely slipped. Abbott's had a good night. That most have is Jono. Lucy, record equaling tally for him. Good tackle though. Now, this will be popular. Oh, don't do that. Joaquin Pastore. Oh no, that's not fair. Why did he try and pick it up just then? It would have popped up a moment later into his arms.
Poor lad. What he didn't realise is the guy behind him chasing him was Jason Leonard.
There was no one near this 21-year-old. Well, there we are. That is the final whistle. Absolutely spot on, 80 minutes, and it's England then with a very successful prelude to the quarter-finals. They have come through, I think, with all guns blazing, a fine performance all round, some wonderful tries, a huge appreciative crowd. So the final score then is England 1-1-1, a new record World Cup score for them, 111-13. We're going to take a short break, then there'll be reaction from here in Brisbane, and also, of course, with Will Carling and Nigel Melville. Happy lads, I hope, in the studio.